Good morning, good morning. You're having breakfast with Tay, and this is episode 4 of Good Morning Bae. This is our professional breakup episode. We're not talking about clean breaks where everything was nice and it ended amicably and you can use them as a reference. We're talking about the messy, the situations that give you shame, fear, that try to come over your mind and take you over. We're leaving all of that in 2019, and as we step into 2020, everyone has something they're trying to break up with. Whatever it is, we're leaving it behind. So let's talk about what to do after that tragedy, what to take with you, and how to dig yourself out of these emotional slumps that happen after professional breakups. Our check-in. My 2 roses and a thorn are that I have tons of vacation time from 2 of my jobs, and I can record videos like this. I have 3 weeks off from my teaching job, but I also have a 3rd job that allows me to come in whenever I want to. I can make my own hours. It's been doing great. Our coping technique of the week. The coping technique of the week is self-massage. I have loved massaging myself since college. You take a tennis ball or a softball and you situate it in your knots in your back and in your legs. It's amazing. I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check out how to massage yourself safely. 2 weeks ago, I got my first full body massage. What she did to my feet alone, my whole body, like she found my off button. The first tip that I have on dealing with emotional breakups is to be familiar with the cycle of grief. The stages of grief are denial, anger, depression, bargaining, and then acceptance. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll go from denial straight to acceptance. You might go denial, anger, depression, back to anger, then to bargaining, then to anger. Like, you oscillate. Be very compassionate with yourself in this time. How would you treat a friend if they were going through the same situation? A lot of my time, I barely wanted to eat. So my focus for self-care during that time of my professional breakup, after I got fired from my first serious corporate job in New Orleans, was to just make sure that I was eating every day. It was a very manageable self-care item that I could take care of, and I knew that I was going to be slacking on because I was going through a very depressive slump. I love this period of time because these cycles, what you're mourning basically tells you what your values are. So I was really upset because a project I was working on didn't get finished. So it showed me that I value taking a project and finishing it. And I don't like to have unfinished work with my name on it. I didn't feel like I needed to take it with me after I left, but it just went to show me that that is one of my values, is being a finisher. And I didn't want for that to be a moment where I declare something over myself, like, oh, I knew I couldn't finish, or see, and like let all of that creep into my mind. That mourning time is a very valuable time for you to assess what's so important to you. What did you lose that was of such great value? And those are going to be things that attract you to your next new horizon and let you know that this place is for you, because it has projects and support that you can finish, or whatever it might be, whatever you're excavating during this mourning time. It is an excavation. You're going very deep inside of emotions that you weren't able to address. In a professional environment, we don't have time to cry, sit, think about how important things are to us on trying to do our job that we can't really address ourselves. As you're going through your professional breakup, listen to your intuition. It will never steer you wrong. When I hear that still small voice, I know if I don't do what this voice is telling me to do, like, this is gonna be bad news bears. Case in point, this channel. Good Morning Bae had a very unconventional start. It was not like I just wanted to start this YouTube channel out of nowhere. I already have a main YouTube channel, so it wasn't really an interest of mine at the time. There was a podcasting contest. They were looking for women podcasters of color, and I created Good Morning Bae on a whim. I was like, I don't think that there's any podcasts that talk about self-care specifically for Black women and what Black women go through in a real way. I don't think that enough people talk about abortion and celibacy and being trans and being queer and tarot cards and astrology and being a fundamental Christian. All of these really hard topics that I don't think that Black women talk about enough. I had seen a lot of self-care podcasts and channels and vloggers, but they kept it light, and I didn't want to keep it light at all. So my Good Morning Bae was a chance, when we have this executive mind first thing in the morning, to talk about the issues that actually matter, to give people bite-sized pieces. It was made with me in mind, and that was something that I needed and I didn't see in the world around me, so I created it. Good Morning Bae went from a podcast idea to an actual friend of mine had a podcast channel. Remember, at the time I was living in New Orleans and she was in California. So when I flew back to California, she wanted me to be a part of this podcast channel. She had also been one of, I think, 5 or 6 people to send me that, like, you should go for this Spotify thing. You should go for this Spotify thing. You know, we were all very excited to start. Y'all may remember the post on my Instagram. I was like, these are my friends. I want to market this day. It's so special. And those people are gone. Both of those people are gone, but the platform still remains. When things with that station went to the left, she got into an argument with another friend that was in that video, and I didn't say anything. That still small voice told me, be quiet. Wait until the dust is settled and then check on your friends. After I think maybe 2 days of them arguing back and forth on Facebook, they had not talked in person, I reached out to my friend and was like, hey, let me know when you have time to talk. I would love to like check in with a call or what have you. And she flipped. She completely flipped. She went from being this very professional, even, generous, trusting friend coworker to, oh, you're probably talking about me behind my back. And all of these, her beliefs came up to explain why I had been silent. And although I was trying to be very honest with her about, I don't like involving myself between 2 people, I was waiting so I could talk to you and hear your side, because at the time I was living with the other girl, so I was hearing plenty of her side. I didn't want to give any opinions. I didn't want to form an opinion or make a decision in the seat of my emotion, because I know that when you're very reactive to your emotions, it's destructive to your life. I waited to talk to the girl and she flipped and she became very destructive, not only destructive of our friendship, but also destructive of this channel. So she deleted the entire first season of Good Morning Bae. Y'all may notice when I start my videos, I say season 2. However, when you look on my channel, there's no season 1. Season 1 was a series of podcasts that was on her station that she deleted without my knowledge. There was no previous conversation. There wasn't even a warning, really, as much as I was reaching out to her, trying to talk to her within this 72-hour period. She did it behind my back, and she did it because it was her station. After telling me I had to tag everything with her station, watermark everything with her station, she wanted all of it gone with no notice, and proceeded to send me like a whole bunch of legalese about how I needed to delete it and cease and desist, even though like I was just trying to talk to her. There was no grounds for why she had sent me this, like nothing, like literally out of thin air. Mind you, I had just seen the girl like 2 weeks ago, sold her a painting, our friends' faces, and it was just very strange. It was very strange behavior. It just seemed very high school, where I assumed that people have group think that, oh, that person thinks this, so clearly all of their friends think that. And I'm too much of an individual, and I value individuality too much to allow someone I call close to me to assume that I'm identical to another person. I'm not a sheeple. I'm an individual, and I need to be respected as such. So that moment, I was glad that my intuition, my spirit woman, the Holy Spirit, told me don't talk, because it revealed a lot of her assumptions and things that I just couldn't work through. They're very personal issues. Bipolar disorder is not to be discounted. That's a very personal issue, but it would have definitely colored how I perceived her actions if I would have previously known about her diagnoses. But she just felt like she couldn't tell me. I don't know what the situation is. The people who let my channel go, who deleted my stuff, they don't have no shows. She went from 5 beautiful black women hostesses to literally 0. There are no new episodes. You can't find her show page. You can't find her touting all this stuff about her station.
She knows I would never wear black. And she knows I would never wear these shoes.
Did she know that you would rip her things down off the blog without talking to her? Did she know that? No. So you think this is a spite? Come with me.
Mm-hmm. That's what lets you know that it didn't matter to her. Like, I can tell what matters to me, because after time, I started making videos again. Like, you know, I only had 1 YouTube video up, and then it was 2, and then it was 3. I wouldn't let myself quit because this matters to me. But for some people, what matters to them is their pride, is being right. I really am glad and I'm grateful that professional breakup happened, because it allowed for me to rise. If you hear nothing else in this video, the most important thing about a professional breakup is your leave takings. What did you learn? How were you unique in this situation where someone else might have responded differently? What can you take with you? What projects? What ideas? What lessons? And you know, it's a really corny point, and it seems like you can get really surface with it, like, well, I learned to never give up. No, really dig deeply. I learned that I'm a charismatic person, that people can't lead groups how I can lead a group. I learned that I am the talent. I'm not begging with my hand out to get something from other companies. I am the gold that they are looking to offer communities and people and platforms. I am the goods and services, and taking that with me allowed for me to really take control of what it is that I was offering instead of allowing other people to cherry pick what they want from me. This really allowed for me to spread my wings and realize I don't want to work corporate. I don't want to do that anymore. It taught me that Good Morning Bae is about sisterhood, transparency, and self-love. And I can't get along with a sister that doesn't love herself enough to be honest about what she's actually dealing with, to be honest about what she doesn't want to deal with up front. I don't need that kind of lack of transparency. It taught me that if a woman is imbalanced within her person and within her emotions, and she is not addressing her imbalance, that it becomes an imbalance in her profession and in who she is in the workplace. Your labor of love will be the reason that you don't give up. When I saw what Good Morning Bae could be, as I was fleshing it out and as I was imagining it, creating this, when I was writing these scripts, when I created season 1, this is my reason for not giving up. I couldn't let her delete all of my seasons. It's a piece of me, it's who I am, and it's something that I needed in my life. So that became my reason for not giving up. Allow your work to continue. Allow your work and the things that excite you and bring you hope and curiosity. That's something to not be underestimated in your time of grieving. I was searching so hard for happiness that I didn't realize curiosity can really crack that happiness open. I wonder what would happen if. What would happen if I made another YouTube channel? What would happen if I did this? What if I did? You know what I'm saying? And that curiosity allowed for me to have a job where I have 3 hours off in the afternoon. I don't have to work on the evenings. I can if I want to. I have a job on Saturdays. I get paid even when my coworkers don't get paid. I control my hours. It's amazing what this birthed in me, but I wouldn't have had that if I wasn't really digging deep for my specific leave taking. It taught me so much about myself and was really a mirror. Like, I thought that I was behind, that I was scarred, wearing a scarlet letter. You got fired from this company. Nobody cares. No one cares. Everyone has lost a job before. Everyone's gotten fired before. It doesn't matter. That's the relief of the thing. What you do within this next moment is the only thing that matters. That's it. Nobody's gonna ask you why you got fired or what happened or who did it or whose fault it is. Like, said no one ever. Move on. Take yourself out. I've started going on these artist dates. I really underestimated the value and the impact of play. I underestimated the impact of playing and putting myself on a play date and just going and exploring a place and what that can do for my curiosity and my drive and my interest. Is your happiness. Don't forget that it comes in waves. It's not an end destination. One day you won't just arrive at happy. Happy is a thing that you custom tailor. No one can serve you happiness and be like, here's the perfect happy life, because you're here to tailor it. So in this time, when there's no happiness to be seen, it's very easy to remember a time when you're happy when most of the time is sad, because it stands out. So for me, I would always say the first time that I laughed all day. I would respond, man, that's the first time I laughed all day. Whatever it was, I took note of those situations because it was a sign that there was some levity coming into my heart space. I needed to know that despite it all, that I was gonna be okay. So that really did that for me. And I know that it can do it for you too. Record where you are. What are you wearing? What are you doing? What are you eating? What is that like? Because that's how you're gonna season your life. That's how you're gonna implant your happiness and tailor it. Babe, Happy New Year. I hope that all of y'all are spending it with your family. I hope that y'all had an amazing holiday season. I got this gorgeous camera for Christmas from my real life bae. I appreciate him so much. I know he's watching now. So I hope that all of you have a great 2020. Let's get it. Revisit my video on action plan if you're not sure how to make a plan to achieve your goals, if you're lost in any way. I still, to this day, use that exact method for action plans. Like, it's the same recipe for success. I'm proud of this channel, and I can't wait to celebrate myself in this new year. I've accomplished so much, and I would be remiss in not acknowledging myself, and you would be the same, babe. Please acknowledge yourself. Think about everything you've accomplished. What have you done? List it all. And I guarantee you, as you list whatever your method is, this is lifeblood right here. Wherever you can access it, tell yourself you don't have no time limit. You have all the time in the world because you ain't got to clock in no more. And reward yourself. Take yourself out on a walk. Take yourself to a place you've never been before. Explore. Let your curiosity explore. Find something to play with. Create something. Read a new book. I highly suggest The Artist's Way Every Day by Julia Cameron. The things that she's saying in there, they have allowed for me to really break myself open. The reason why I am here is because I've dreamed about this place and I'm following my dreams. And as scary as that is, it's opened up my mind. And I couldn't have done that. I can't do this without you, babe. So thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that all of you have a gorgeous, amazing, very magical January. And I will see you next episode. Bye.